Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss about one of the most important languages, that is Python. So what is Python actually? Python is general purpose language that is interpreted. Well, I'll be discussing these terms: interactive, and it also follows the operations of OOPS, that is written as object oriented programming. So when was it created? That is the first question. It was created by Guido von Rossum, and it was during the term 1985 to 1990. So secondly, what are its source code? Its source code is generally available at GNU, that is General Public License. And so today we're going to learn about what is Python in detail. So interpreted, this is the first feature. What does it mean? It basically means that the Python programs that will be processed at runtime by the interpreter. So we have an interpreter, such as we can also have a compiler interpreter. Interpreter basically interprets the code line by line. So the Python code that will be processing at runtime by the interpreter. So this is the meaning of interpreted language, Python being the feature. Next we have is interactive, as I told. So why is it interactive? Because you can actually sit at a Python prompt and interact with the interpreter directly. So in simple language, that is that you can write the program directly, and that is directly interpreted by the interpreter, that is line by line. Next feature we have is object oriented. So what is the object oriented? That we say is as OOPS, that is object oriented programming language. So this means that there will be classes, objects, then you can make objects and also add some attributes, and that we'll be doing in the coming lectures, and the technique will be there. Also we can have features of encapsulation, inheritance, and so many, and these all features will be there in the next sections. So, and yes, the most important fact is that it is a beginner's language. That means if you have to start with all the concepts of studying these kind of programming languages, Python is the most perfect language for that, because it is at beginner's level for the programmers and developing, and we can actually develop a wide range of applications from that. It can be text processing, www browsers, various apps also like Flask. Using that we can make web apps and etc. So next we are going to talk about what are the other characteristics of Python programming. So let's discuss about the characteristics. Of programming language that we're discussing here is Python. So number one, it supports functional and structural programming methods as well as OOP. So as I discussed OOP, plus it has some functional and structured programming concepts, or we can say them as methods or we can also refer to as the functions, because functions are the alternate name of methods. Next, it can be used as a scripting language, and the scripting language that can be compiled, that means it can be compiled to the bytecode, the byte code, or it can also be compiled for making various large applications, but that will be taking place on the scripting language. Okay, so we have next feature, that is that it provides high level dynamic data types. So that is that various data types are there, that can be int, float, string, str, character also it can be, and we have bool, or we can also refer to it as boolean in like other languages such as C, C++, and many more that we'll be discussing further. Then it also supports the garbage collection. The garbage collection here is automatic, and it has integration with various other languages such as C. Okay, let's write it in caps. C, C++. It can be Java, and also like the web apps, etc., and etc. that are done using the Flask. And also, so let's write it etc. ending with this point. The next we have is that it's quite easy to learn. The syntax is very easy. Because the syntax is very easy, it has a simple structure. There are nearly actually so many keywords to learn. If else, these are all referred to as the keywords. It is also easy to read. We can find out the commands easily, and the Python code is clearly visible to the eyes, such that any kind of errors are there, any kind of comments are there that can be easily read by the human eye. The maintenance is quite easy, because if once the code goes, like if some kind of bugs are there, that can be easily interpreted and it can be fairly maintained back into its form. It has a large set of libraries such as Scikit, sklearn, matplotlib libraries. So it has a large set of libraries, and along with that we can make cross-platform compatibility, that is with Windows, Unix, Linux, Macintosh, and various other operating systems. It has an interactive mode, as I discussed earlier, and the code is portable. That means the code can run on various hardware platforms. And it is extendable. You can extend it to various other programming features. Along with that, many databases can be connected to it, and it is scalable. You can add on to it various structures, and it supports large programs, including the shell scripting programs and various other GUI applications. So talking about this, these are the features of Python programming language. Now we'll be doing a simple Python program, and according to me, the first program that we actually write in any language is print. Hello world. So the syntax is quite simple. This is done, and that's all. Now I'll tell you that the compiler that I'm going to use for this is Anaconda Navigator, that you can download easily from its site. And in that I'll be using Jupyter Notebook. So I've already downloaded it and